So good morning all. So let us start the session. In previous class, we discussed about string data type. In today class, we are going to discuss about list data type. So list data type is very important. So when you are writing any coding problem, you are going to use these lists in your programs very frequently. So list data type is very important when comparing to all the remaining data types, the string and list. So these two data types very important. Okay. In today class, we are going to discuss about this list data type and different list methods, and we are going to see one example program. Okay. So what is a list? So what is a list? I hope you all are know C programming. In that C programming, we know the concept of array. You know the concept of array, I think. So what is a array? Array is a group of similar data items. Similar data items. In our previous classes, we discussed about variable. So variables. So what is a variable? So variable is a storage location. So what is a variable means? A variable is a storage location. For example, so this is the memory. So this memory location have some address. For example, the address of this location is 1001. Now I want to assign 5 to a variable a. So what it means? The number 5 is stored in a memory location. So 1001, and how I identify this memory location means by using this variable a. Okay, so now by using this variable, you can store only one value. We store only one value. If I want to store more than one value, then we are going to use array. So array is also a variable, but in this we are going to store a group of similar data items. Say equals to 5, we store only one element. If I declare a of 5, now in this array we are going to store 5 elements. Okay, so similarly the list also. The list. So what is the list? So list is an ordered sequence of items. So array is also ordered sequence of items. But the difference is in array you store all the items or similar data type. Similar data type. That means if I declare int a of 5, now in this variable a I store only integer numbers. If I declare float, then the floating well decimal numbers. If I declare char, then I am going to store only the characters. But coming to list, it is one of the most used data type in Python and is very flexible. So why flexible means we discuss in few moments, and all the items in a list don't need to be of the same type. So this is the important point. Okay, so array means it is a similar data items. So coming to list, don't need to be of the same data type. That means if I define a list, this list maybe consists of integers, that means the numbers, or some floating values, or strings, or characters. Okay, any data type. Okay, so now you see one more time the definition. So Python list. So list is an ordered sequence of items. So list is an ordered sequence of items. So why we call this as a sequence of items? Sequence is nothing but if I store a list, L equals to 5, 25, 30. Now L of 0 is 5, L of 1 25, L of 3 30. That means list is an ordered sequence of items. So all these are the sequence of items. It is one of the most used data type in Python and is very flexible. So why we call this flexible means, so when we say that a data type or anything is flexible, if you are easily insert the data or you easily delete the data. That means if you modify the list very easily, then we say that the list is flexible. That means the data type is flexible. Here the lists are mutable. So there are two types of data types, So one is mutable, another one is immutable. Okay, you understand these two terminologies. One is mutable, another one is immutable. Okay, so what is mutable? So mutable is nothing but once you create the object, if you try to change the object and it is changed, then we say that that is a mutable. So that means if I assign L equals to 5, 25, 30, if I change this as a 5, 30, that means I delete 25. Now the L is mutable. So that means we can apply the changes on this list L. So immutable is nothing but if I try to delete this 25, if it returns error, then we call this as a immutable. That means we cannot apply the changes on the data item. Okay. So this is about the list. So what is a list? A list is a sequence of items, and so these items may be different data items. Okay, maybe it's a number, maybe string, maybe float number. Okay, and string are mutables. So now, so declaring a string is pretty straightforward. That means, so how we can declare a variable, and similarly we can declare the list also. How we can declare a variable? For example, say a equals to 5. A equals to 5. In the similar way, you are going to declare the list also. For example, the variable is L, and I define the list in these square brackets. Okay, so these are the square brackets. So this is the important point here. So how to declare a list means you can declare the list in square brackets. If I declare anything in the square brackets, now the data type of the the data type of the variable variable is list only. For example, here, so 1, 5, 8. So these three data items are stored as a list, and the list name is L. Okay, so this is the example. So L equals to 1, 2, 3, 4. So 23.12 and engineering. So now, so the type of the L is list. So this is the introduction to list. Now we see practically. Okay, so how we can declare a list? Variable name, for example, here the variable name is L. So L equals to square brackets. If I give square brackets, now L is list. Now I am going to print the list. Print L, and I'm going to print type of the L. Type of the L. Okay, so this is the empty list. If you observe that I initialize L with square brackets only. If I print L, it prints the empty list, and the type of the L. What is the type of the L? It is list. Okay, now I enter the list. For example, the list is so 45, so 23, apple, so 12.34. All are different data items. So this is the string college, CSE, so EEE, ECE, civil, mechanical. Okay, so this is the list. Okay, so how we can initialize the list means, so by using these square brackets. You all are understand. So if it is a list, you are going to assign the values with the help of square brackets only. Okay, now if I print, so this is the elements in the list. So these are the elements in the list. Okay, I hope everyone understand the definition of the list. How to retrieve the list elements using for loop and while loop. So what is the topic? Retrieve the list elements using for loop and while loop. Okay, so this is the for loop. So simply, so what's the syntax for loop? For variable in the place of L, you are going to give the sequence of data items. Here the list is a sequence of data items. So in first iteration, I value becomes 45. In second iteration, 23. In next iteration, apple. So after that, 12.34 and so on. Okay, this is the one of the way to retrieve the elements from the list by using for loop. And sometimes we can access the elements with the help of indexes. Here, so this is the L. So this is the index 0. This is the index 1, index 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. If I print, say L of 3, L of 3. So what is the output? Everyone please give the response in the chat box. If I assign, if I try to print L of 3, so what is the expected output? Everyone please give the response in the chat box. So this is the list. So 45, 23, apple, 12.34, college, CSE, ECE, EEE, civil, mechanical. If I give, say L of 3, so what is the expected output? It prints 12.34 as a output. Okay, so the index is starting from 0. If I specify L of 3, the 3 indicates the index, not the element. So L of 3 means we don't retrieve the third element. So this is wrong. We retrieve the element in the index. So L of 3 means it is 12.34. Okay, so now we are going to retrieve the list elements using for loop with range function. So what is the range here? I hope you all we complete this topic in our previous classes. So range length of L. What's the length of L here? The length of L is 10. The length of L, this is the L list. The length of the list L is 10. So range of 10. So range of 10. So that means it returns the numbers sequences 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now initially the value is 0. So L of 0 means it prints 45. In next iteration I becomes 1, so it prints L of 1 in next iteration. So after that I value becomes 2 and you try to print say L of 2 and so on. Okay, so this is the how we can retrieve with the help of range function. That means we retrieve with the help of indexes here. Here we directly use the sequences in the list. And another one is so retrieving the list elements using while loop. So while loop also similar to the previous one. Here we are using the length. Same here. Initially I am taking the I value that equals to 0. And so always this 0 is less than 10. That means the length of L. So length of L. So that is the 10 here. So n value is 10 here. So while I less than 10, you are going to print L of I. In previous example also, we print L of I only. Okay. So after printing this L of I, you increment the I value. But coming to in for loop, use the range function. So it returns the sequence of numbers. In each iteration, it takes one value. Okay. Now we see practically. Okay, so first we see with the help of for loop. Simple. For I in L, print I in L, print I. Okay, now it displays all the elements in the list. In first iteration, it is 45. In next 23. After that, apple 12.34 and so on. Here I am using the help of range function. Range of length of L. So range of length of L. Here I am going to print. If I print I, what is the expected output? Everyone please give the response in the chat box. If I print I value here, so for I in range of length of L, if I print I value, what is the expected output? If I print I value, If I print I value, no, yes, 0 to 9, 0 to 9. So length of the L is 10. So D1, Satish. I value is 10. Range of 10 means it returns the numbers from 0 to 9. It's very good. Okay. If I print, it prints indexes values here. So all these are the indexes. So we print the content in that index. So L of I. L of I. Now it prints the content in the index. Okay. So 45, 23 and so on. Now we write same program with the help of while loop. Okay. So here the condition is the length. That means here I am taking that. You can take a variable or directly you can write the while I so less than length of L. So length of L and so print L of I. L of I. And what is the first value of the I? I equals to 0. And after printing the content in the index, you are going to increment the I value by 1. I plus equals to 1. That's it. Okay. So this is the output. So while I less than the length of L, so print L of I. Okay. So now we see slicing. So in last class, we discussed about the string slicing. So it is also very similar list slicing. List slicing. We can use the slicing operator. So this is the square brackets. So these brackets we are called as a slicing operator. So this is the slicing operator. To extract an item or a range of items from a list, the index starts from 0 in Python. So that means the 45, the index is 0. The 23 index is 1. Yapid index is 2. 12.34 3. College 4. CSC 5. ECE 6. EEE 7. Civil 8. Mechanical 9. So this is the indexes. Now the slicing operator is nothing but this is the square brackets we are used as a slicing operator. So this slicing operator is used to extract an item or a range of items from a list. That means, so for example, I want to print the first 5 elements. First 5 elements. How? So simply I am using so L colon first 5. So I specify 5 here. That means 0 to 4. So 0 to 4. So these 5 elements will be output. Okay. So I hope you all are remember the slicing operator. The slicing operator is square brackets. In this you are going to give 3 arguments. One is start. Second one is stop. And third one is step. So third one is step. Okay. In this, the start step. So these two are the optional. You specify stop. Okay. So now if I give print L, it prints all the contents in that list, all the elements in that list. If I print so L of column 3, so column 3, that means I specify stop here. That means the 0, 1, 2. So these 3 elements will be the output. Okay, this is the output. So L of so 3 colon 8. So 3 colon 8. Everyone please give the response in the chat box. If I give L of so 3 colon 8. So what is the output? So 3 colon 8 means the starting is 3. The starting element is starts from 3. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is the output. Okay. Very good. So 3 to 7 is the output. And if I give 1 colon 9 colon 2, that means here specifies step also. I specifies the step also. So the starting point is 1 to 8 and the step is 2. So 23 step is 2. So 12.34 step is 2. So CSE step is 2. So triple E. So this is the output. So 23. So 12.34 CSE and triple E. Okay. If I want to print the contents in the list in reverse order, then you are going to use this. So this slicing. So colon minus 1. Now it displays the elements in reverse order. Okay. And so how we can traverse in backward direction? So this is the forward. The last one index is -1, -2, and -3, -4, -5, -6, -7, -8, -9, and -10. Okay. So now, if I give the slicing operator like this, -1 to -8, and step is -1. What is the -1 here? ME. That means it displays up to 12.34. So this is the -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6, and -7. Okay. So now if I change this step, to -1 to -2, now it displays ME, step 2, so triple E, step 2. So okay, here is give the -2, so it starts from civil. Okay, so it prints civil. After the step 2 ECE, step 2, so college. Okay, I hope you all are understand list slicing. It is similar to string slicing only. So already we discussed in our previous class. So we discussed about the forward direction and backward direction also. The forward directions are indicating with positive numbers and the backward directions are indicating with negative numbers. Okay. So next, so deleting an element. So deleting an element. How to delete an element from the list? For example, I assign so L equals to 10, 20, 30, 40. Okay. So now I want to delete this element 30. So how we can delete? In Python, so del. So del is a keyword, and remove and pop are built-in methods. Okay. So whenever we discuss about some predefined methods or functions, we call some methods and function terminology. So methods, sometimes I call some methods as a methods, and sometimes I call those methods as a functions. So both are the same. But so what is the difference between methods and functions? Means if I call the function with the help of the object, for example, so L dot pop, or L dot remove, all these are the methods. If I call a function like this, L dot pop, if I call, for example, if I call like this pop, then we call this as a function. So there is no object here. If you observe that, so whenever, so but both are the same. If I call L dot pop, if the syntax for the pop is L dot pop, then we call this as a method. If I directly call this pop method, then we call this as a functions. Okay, so both are the same. The functionality is same. So why we call as a method means we call with the help of the object here. If it is a function, you directly call that function. Okay. Now, so how to delete an element in the list means we are going to delete the element in a list in 3 ways. The first one by using a keyword, that is del, delete. And second one is by using remove. by using remove. And third one is by using another method, pop. Okay, the purpose of these three are same, but the behavior is different. So remove method delete values or object from the list using value and delete, and pop deletes value or objects from the list using an index. So what it means, if I am using the delete, now this delete can delete the object. So directly it can delete the object. Here L equals to 10, 20, 30, 40. These are the 4 objects. Now this 30 is object will be deleted. And directly you can delete this entire list also. DEL L. If I give DEL L, then the entire list will be deleted. That means the object L will be deleted. And coming to remove. So remove method delete values. So for example, delete 30. Delete 30. I want to delete this value 30. Then I am going to use delete. Here, remove. And this is the pop. This pop can delete with the help of index value. So for example, pop of 3. That means the third index element will be deleted. Or if you call like this pop, then the last inserted element will be deleted. I hope you complete your DS, and I hope you all are know the stack. In stack there is a pop function. So what is a pop means? Deletion. So last element will be deleted. If I use the pop without any argument, then the last element will be deleted. If I specify the index, then only that element will be deleted. Okay, so now we see definitions. The del keyword delete any variable, so list of values from the list. The remove method removes the first matching value from the list. The pop method, like delete, deletes a value at a particular index, but pop method returns the deleted values from the list. The delete command does not return the value, but the pop method returns the value. What it means, if I delete, if I assign a equals to del of L of 3, now it is error. So why? It does not return any value. Instead of del, if I use pop, L dot pop 3, now it returns the value, the deleted value is assigned to a variable a. Okay, now we see practically. Same list, so print L, that means before deleting. So after that I'm going to delete L of 2. L of 2. Now which element will be deleted? Everyone please give the response in the chat box. If I delete L of 2, L of 2 means this is the 0, 1, 2. Apple will be deleted. See, apple will be deleted. Yes, very good. Okay. So now we see, L dot remove. L dot remove. I want to remove CSC. I want to remove CSC. So then I'm going to use L dot remove CSC. So print L. So print L. Okay. Next, I want to pop. I want to delete last element. Then simply I am going to use L dot pop. So print L. I want to delete a particular element in the index 2. Then I am going to use L dot pop of 2. Now with the index 2 element will be deleted. So print L. Okay. So first, this is the initial list. So this is the initial list. So after that I am using that. So delete. So delete L of 2. So delete L of 2. So the apple is deleted. Okay, then this is the list. After deletion of apple, this is the list. So after that L dot remove CSC. Now CSC will be deleted. So after that L dot pop. So last element will be deleted. So after that So pop2, so this is the 2, so 12.34, so that is deleted. So this is the final list. Okay, now this is the difference between these three operations. So del is a keyword, so remove is a method, pop is a method. To delete value, it uses the index. To delete the value, this method uses the value as a parameter. This method also uses the index as a parameter. So these two, so delete and pop, so these two uses the index as a parameter to delete. The delete keyword does not return any value. The remove method also does not return any value. The pop returns the deleted value. The del keyword can delete the single value from a list or delete the whole list at a time. At a time, it deletes only one value from the list. At a time, the pop method is also deletes only one value from the list. It throws index error in case of the index does not exist in the list. For example, there is only five elements in the list, so the index is from 0 to 4. If I try to delete the fifth index, then the delete command, the delete keyword does not return any error. But coming to remove, if I try to the element that was not in the list, then it throws the value error in case of value does not exist in the list. And if you try to delete the element with the help of pop, the index is not in the range, then it throws index error in case of an index does not exist in the list. Okay, so now we see the membership operators. I hope you all are remember these two operators. So what is this operator? Everyone please give the response in the chat box. What is the purpose of this operator? It's a repetition operator. Repetition operator. And plus. So what is the purpose of the plus? The plus operator? Concatenation. Concatenation operator. Okay, coming to membership operator, in and not in. In and not in. Okay, so these are the lists here: L1, L2, L3, L4. Okay, so this is the list 1, list 2. So list 1 equals to 10, 20, 30. List 2 equals to 40, 50, 60. List 3 equals to list 1 plus list 2. Now what is the L3? Everyone please give the response. So what is the result stored in L3? It is 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Okay, so this is the result. Okay, yes. Now what is the result for L4? L1 into 3. Now it stores 10, 20, 30 3 times. Again 10, 20, 30. Again 10, 20, 30. Okay. So this is the repetition operator. It repeats 3 times. If we print L1, this is the output 10, 20, 30. L2, 40, 50, 60 is the output. Print L3, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. So print L4, it prints 10, 20, 30, 10, 20, 30 and 10, 20, 30. So now, so these are the two membership operators we are going to use in the lists to know the element is in the list or not. What is the purpose of the membership operators here? For example, the list is 10, 20, 30. Now I want to know the 40 is in this list or not. How? Simply I am saying I am giving the instruction like this: 40 in L1. So 40 in L1. If it returns true, then the 40 is in the list. If it returns false, then so 40 is not in the list. Okay. So if here, everyone please give the response for these 4 instructions. So print 10 in L1. 10 in L1. 10 in L1. What it returns? Everyone please give the response. So print 10 in L1. It returns true. Okay. 70 in L2. 70 in L2. 70 in L2. It returns false. Why? The 70 not in L2. So next one. So print 10 not in L1. 10 not in L1. So 10 in L1. So it returns false. 70 not in L2. 70 not in L2. Yes, it is not in L2. So it returns true. That means first one true, false, false, true. So these are the lists. So L1 equals to 10, 20, 30. So L2 equals to so 40, 50, 60. So L3 equals to L1 plus L2. L4 equals to L1 into 3. Okay. So now I am going to print all the lists. Print L1, print L2, print L3, so print L4. Okay. So after that I am going to check. First we execute these instructions. Okay. So this is the output. Now I want to check that. So I want to read a number from the keyboard. Okay. A number from the keyboard, and I check the number is in this list or not. So for example, the list is L1. Okay. So L1 equals to 10, 20, 30. Here I am taking a number n equals to int of input. Okay. Now I want to enter 50. If I press enter, now so 50 is in the list or not. It displays the message. If it is available, it displays a message available in the list, otherwise not available in the list. Okay, so how we can check that? If n in L1, that's it. If n in L1, then you are going to print found in L1. Else print so not found, that's it. If I enter 50, so 50 not found. If I enter 40, so 40 not found. If I enter 20, found. So found in L1. Okay. So by using these membership operators, you are going to easily find that so the number or the element is available in the list or not, very easily. So by using these membership operators, in and not in. Okay. So next one is inserting the elements. Inserting an element into the list. So what it is? So inserting is nothing but already you created a list. So for example, L equals to 10, 20, 30. Now I want to insert an element into this list by using these two methods. One is append, another one is insert. Okay. So first we see the definition of append. So what is the meaning of append? Append is nothing but you are going to add a number at the end of the list. So for example, I want to add apple here. That means I want to append the element apple in the end of the list L. In those cases, we are going to use append. That means my intention is I want to append an element to the end of the list. In those cases, I'm going to use the append method. The append method. It adds an element at the end of the list. What's the purpose of the append method? It adds an element at the end of the list. The argument passed in the append function is added as a single element at the end of the list, and the length of the list is increased by 1. That means if I, so what is the length of L here? The length is 3. If I append apple, then the length is incremented by 1. So the length become as 4. Okay, this is the syntax list name dot append. Insert. So what is the insert method? Append means you can append, you can insert the element at the end of the list. If you are using the insert method, then you can append the you can insert the value at any desired position. So for example, I want to append the mango in the index 3. Index 3, this is the 0, 1, 2, 3. Now I want to append here in the index 3. Then I'm going to use this insert method. So this method can be used to insert a value at any desired position. It takes two arguments, element and the index at which the element has to be inserted. This is the index and this is the element. Okay, the syntax is list name here. So L dot the list name dot insert. Okay, list name dot insert, in bracket you are going to give index and element. Okay, so now we see practically how we are going to insert the elements. Okay, so this is the list L. Now I want to append apple at the end of the list. So I write a dot append apple. That's it. Okay, so before append, I'm going to print the list L, and similarly after append. Okay, so 10, 20, 30, after appending 10, 20, 30 and apple. You see, print length of L. Here the length of L is 3. After appending apple, the length of L is 4. So 10, 20, 30, the length is 3. So after appending this element, the length is 4. Okay. Now we see, so how we can insert an element with the help of insert method. So L dot insert, I want to insert at third index. So 3 comma, the element is mango. Okay, if I print L, and I'm going to print the length of L also. Okay, so this is the mango inserted in third location. 10 is 0, 20 is 1, so 30 is at the second index, and the mango is at third index. Okay. Okay, so this is about today class. In tomorrow class, we are going to discuss some more functions related to list, and we are going to see one example program also. So thank you all. So we meet in tomorrow class. So thank you.